Hey, I guess we're on.
Hey, well, welcome to 2024.
Faster than I've anticipated, but it's all right.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Blend. This is episode 5, y'all.
Woo, episode 5. All right.
Yeah. I know. And the very first one of the new year. So we're back.
We're back.
In January. It's not December 2023 anymore.
I think it's 2024, and I think we're trying to get our bearings a little bit here. I mean, we've had about a week or so of preschool, if I can say that right. We're getting ourselves ready all last week, anticipating a great semester. And then we come to the show this morning, and it's like, what are we doing again? What is this?
Exactly. Exactly.
Have we done this before?
I know. I felt that way as I was making my coffee because I'm thinking, wow, this smells stronger than normal. Did I forget how to make coffee, too? Because I didn't make a lot over the break.
Now, that's weird because the last time we talked, you were having tea. What changed in the new year that makes you now drink coffee? Or is this just a one-time thing?
No, it's not a one-time thing. I drink coffee when I need that little kick. And, I needed that kick this morning.
I understand.
Yeah. So the last time, Cameron, I just thought about something under news. But I think you're going to cover it in did you get what you wanted for Christmas? The last time we were here with y'all, we talked about what was at the top of our Christmas list.
Yep.
Whatever could this possibly be? I don't know. Should the camera go to you, Cameron? I think it should go straight to you. Okay.
I am getting married. I got exactly what I wanted for Christmas, a certain piece of jewelry, and he did good, y'all. I know you can't see very well right now,
Hold
but
on. Let me see if I can
But
get over here.
but it is worth seeing. Yay! Congratulations! Okay, so you've got to give us
excited.
all of the juicy details. Tell us
So-
all about it.
Yeah, so
How did it
was
happen?
A week before Christmas, and we went to New Orleans as a day trip together because he got us tickets to this fantastic light show in City Park. And so you know me, I'm looking at all the lights and I'm distracted and just excited to be there. And you know, he got a haircut and wore a tie, so I knew something had to be up.
Oh wow!
But we were looking for this fountain, and he was really jazzed about finding the fountain. Now, he saw it on the internet or something and was just like really wanting to find it. And so we finally come across it, and I'm like, look, this is the fountain that you've been looking for. And so I walk up to it, and he didn't walk up with me, and so I turned back around to see, you know, where did he go, and he was on his one knee with the ring box, and he said
With
some
the
sweet things.
Fountain as the backdrop.
Yes.
How romantic!
I know. So the world is perfect. I've been floating ever since, and we don't know when or where yet, but I got the ring, y'all. So he liked it, so we put a ring on it.
That is awesome!
All right.
Congratulations! We are thrilled for you.
Thank you.
You did good.
Yeah.
What's his
well,
name?
Jake Thompson.
Jake
Jake.
did very, very good.
Yes,
Oh
he
man,
did.
that's perfect.
Well, I think the last time when we talked about this, I didn't have a clue what I wanted. But Lawrence did come up with something that I needed. It wasn't a ring. It's a whole lot softer. I'd been wanting one of those pillows, you know, those ergonomically made pillows, you know, where it has all the little features to it,
Well,
and
that
it's the
fits
cooling
because
pillow.
you did say you wanted to sleep over the break. That's what you said you wanted.
And I mean, I love sleep. I love sleep so much. I don't get enough of it. Maybe that's why I'm so drawn to it. I
Yes.
don't nearly get enough of it, but I do love to sleep. And I mean, as soon as I lay down in my bed, I am like out. I mean, like out.
Yeah.
And this pillow that I got, it keeps me cool, you know, during the night. It doesn't get hot. And so that's wonderful too, because that, you know, that's been kind of a problem here lately, ladies, y'all know. And so it just, and then it has the little things on the little open little sides where you can, you know, when you lay down on your stomach on your side and you kind of stick your hand, you know, underneath your pillow. Well, it has that little pocket on both sides where I can kind of slip my hands in and get real comfortable. So anyways, yeah, for, you know, for a person who didn't know what they wanted, that was a very thoughtful gift.
Wow.
So I could appreciate that. And also, what I didn't want, I got.
Okay. What might that
Okay.
be?
Man, from the 21st all the way to New Year's Day, we rotated about, I don't know, maybe 25, 30-ish people, you know, getting together, coming to my house. This is family. And we spent a night at my nephew's house. Oh my gosh, y'all, flu.
Oh,
The freaking flu.
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
went through everybody just about. And I mean, on Christmas Eve, my mother was like laying down on the floor in the bathroom because she was saying she was so hot. And I was like, oh my God, Mom is just being so dramatic. I mean, really, it's like, oh my gosh. And, you know,
Right.
and then the next day, she was laying down on the floor in the living room. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's really like taking it up a notch, like super dramatic. You
On
know?
Christmas Day, you said?
On Christmas Day, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's just like, you know, all the attention, you know. About 10 o'clock, 11, it's like a switch flipped, and I just started feeling horrible. By
Oh,
5
no.
o'clock, I was like in the bed, and I'm like, I don't feel good.
Now you're the dramatic one.
I was so dramatic. I but not as dramatic as I probably would have been if my throat had not felt like I'd swallowed glass. I mean,
oh my gosh.
it was like the first 2 days was that. And then, the next day I was like I felt the urge to cough, but everything was so tight that it couldn't come out, which was horrible too. And I felt like this heat coming, from that. And then finally the next day that cough loosened up and I could cough, but then it hurt like crap,
Right.
So anyways, that's kind of how, we spent the holidays. But despite all of that, we really did have a good time. I mean, we were all sick and passed it around to each other anyways, because, it's kind of how we started off.
So misery loves company, apparently.
There you
So
go.
yeah,
We're all
but
in this together. so.
exactly. But we really did, we really did have a great time. It was a great holiday.
Good.
I struggled to come back, though. I got back to convocation, and I was like, ooh, Lord, I'm here.
But I think that was probably everybody,
Yeah.
I mean, whenever you're on a big, long layover like that, you just have to get back into the swing. And
Yeah.
it just, you're used to getting up maybe more or less when you want to, and
Yep.
just doing what you want to do, with your days, whether that be a little touch of work here
Yeah.
in preparation, but mostly, just spending time with family or whatnot. And that's okay. I mean, I think that's pretty normal. We should
Yeah.
normalize that idea that momentum happens, right? We had momentum on our vacation to continue vacationing. Now we're
Yes.
having to switch that momentum to working.
You are not kidding. You are not kidding.
Did you
Yeah.
get what you wanted for Christmas?
So yeah, actually I did. Really the main thing was to see family. I mean, that's about, we get gifts all the time, but kind of like everybody in here, spending time with our loved ones,
Yeah.
remembering what it is that, what's really important. It was great. So I got a chance to go down and see my mom and my dad, and of course my in-laws, and we just had a great time. We danced and we sang and we
Yes.
did the things that
Fun.
we need to do more of.
Yeah.
That's what we did. So it was great.
Yeah, did you video?
Did I video
Yeah.
myself dancing or?
Yeah. Any of it.
So we have this, we have this ritual.
Uh-huh.
Even to this day, my kids are too old to do this, but we still record Christmas morning.
Yeah, we do too.
So it's like, what'd you get under the tree and what did Santa Claus bring in your stocking and all that. I mean, we'd still do it
I
just
know
because
how old your kids are, and you still say Santa Claus.
because we do.
My mom still says Santa Claus.
Does she
Yes,
really?
she does. She
Wow.
even, I'm 22 years old, and my brother is 21, so she still says,
What
"Look
did
Santa Claus brought you?"
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness!
Yeah, we
We want all the credit. I guess we are prideful people. 'Cause it's
Well,
this is what I got you. Open your gift for me.
so to be fair, we there's only like a limited one thing that maybe Santa will bring. Everything else is
Okay.
from us. We do like the credit too. So I'm right
it's
there
like,
with you.
I put so much thought into this. You
Yeah.
are gonna love it.
Like Santa brings like the Hershey's Kisses or whatever, or something in the.
Oh, you
in the
gave
stock.
Santa
but like the real stuff,
the good stuff.
Yeah,
That's for
of
Mom
course
and
we took
Dad.
care
Yeah.
of that. We
Yeah.
took care of you. Yeah, I mean I could they're good sports about it. So we do that, and then we even record. Then so then me and my wife will sit by the tree and we're recording that. The kids are like, okay, we're done, we're gone, we're gonna do whatever we want to do. And her and I are also exchanging gifts and opening things up as well. So we're suckers for the Christmas spirit. What can I say?
I'm with you. We make everybody sit.
Mm-hmm.
And we do gifts one at a time. We have everybody open up one gift at a time, and everybody else has to watch and celebrate that person and whatever gift they got. And then we move on to the next person. Because if not, they'll rip through stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And adults will too. It's like they'll, storm the tree just looking for their stuff. And then, then it's all over.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you kind of take your time, let everybody open up one gift at a time,
That's right.
then it lasts longer and
For 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, exactly. But everybody feels celebrated, and that's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah, it's really good. It's been a good holiday. I'm glad
has.
that we had it.
really
I mean, it was
has.
coming anyway, right? But I'm glad we had a
Yes.
holiday.
It was
Me
exceptional
too.
for us. It was an exceptional year for us too. I'm glad that we we had all that we had. Not the flu, but the rest of it.
The rest of it, that's right.
Yeah. So, Cameron, I think Cameron came out the big winner in this.
Woo.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely. I think so.
So, some of you all may do this as well, and we're going to talk about it here around the table this morning. And some of you may not. Some of you may try it and say, I'm not going to do it again. New Year's resolutions, where do you all stand on those?
I make them every year. I just like the idea of restarting, kind of having a clean slate just in my mind. It gives me a mindset of like, hey, you can start over here and you have all this time in front of you to, accomplish this goal and kind of have a marker for it, which is the beginning of the year. So I make them every year. And
do you generally stick to them?
I haven't the past few years. There have been years where I'm going to journal more this year, and I did do that. Or I'm going to be better about calling friends or family, and I have done that before. The ones I have the most trouble sticking with are the health-related ones.
Yes. I'm good for about 6 months, and then as soon as summer vacation hits, it's hard to come back from being undisciplined in eating and exercise to being disciplined. I have a hard time getting back on the wagon. But I'm good for those 6 months up until the big vacation in the summer.
Yes.
This, I've toyed with something in my mind, and I feel like, and I've not said this out loud to...
World premiere, ladies and gentlemen.
I know.
It's happening. It's happening.
I know. I've toyed with the idea of doing some motivational writing and thinking about, or videos. I'm not sure, what platform I'll actually step out on first. But I feel that there's some things in me that needs to be written or documented and shared. And so I am going to take that seriously this year and actually do something. I remember listening to a podcast with Priscilla Shirer. Some of you may be familiar with Priscilla Shirer. She starred in that movie, The War Room. And her sister, Crystal Evans Hurst, they were doing a podcast together, and they were talking about, how some people feel that they have something to do, but they just don't know where to start with it. And they said, if you just do the next thing, you may not know what the whole pathway looks like, but if you just do the next thing, you've actually started doing something. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the next thing and actually get started on that. So that is my New Year's resolution.
And that's the hardest thing to do, is to get started, and like I said before, once you build that momentum up, then usually it just snowballs. But something that you said is very telling. We've probably heard this a time or two. Don't die with the music still inside of you.
Yes.
And, and I believe that the more we expose what we expose ourselves to, that tends to be what comes out of us. And I know you are one that likes to listen to audiobooks, and whether it be taking in information on leadership, motivation, growth, etc. You live in that space, and I like to say I do the same. So I could see that. I could see a natural outcropping or outgrowth of you absorbing that information is for you to then take it, sort of make your own recipe, if you will, and then bring it to light for others that may need to hear it the way you interpret how things should be. Because it's funny how many voices are out there that speak to these topics, and you would think, well, who am I to speak to this?
That has been my hesitation.
Yep.
That has been my great hesitation, because I'm thinking, well, what makes my voice so special? Because there are so many voices out there. But, there are there are people that I I am drawn to, while there are others who do a great work that I don't connect with so much.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the whole thing. There may be somebody that is in need of that information, or just
The delivery, the presentation.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
that can make all the difference.
Yeah. And they'll receive it better from you. I mean, I don't want to get religious, but you have thousands of churches and hundreds of thousands of preachers. And there are certain ways that certain preachers connect,
Right.
that are different from others. It's not
Right.
just about where you live, but it's also, and your geographic location to that particular person.
Yeah.
But it is who they are, what they represent, how they deliver, all those things. So
All those
it's
things.
there's space, and you should definitely do it. Definitely.
All righty, Ryan. Thank you for that. All right. So New Year's resolutions for you. Are you a believer, non-believer, or sometime believer?
Yeah, I used to do New Year's resolutions all the time. I found that they wouldn't work for me, so I told my wife this year, I'm not doing any New Year's resolutions because of that fact. But I would say that the one thing I intend to do is to keep again, talking about momentum, keep doing what I was doing at the end of last year, which is just basically, the things like listen to yourself, go with your gut. And I think one of the things that we probably need to do more of, all of us, we tend to get boxed in. We tend, we do a job. That's what you are, or our family sees us this one way, and that's what you are. But really, if we think about it, we have many interests, talents, abilities, gifts. And so it's really important for us to express all those, and lean into all of it, not just, focus on the one thing that somebody said we're good at. Lean into everything and explore. I think that's really the bottom line. So if there's a resolution, it's going to be that, and also the theme of earlier today, which is just, be more present with family.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we become successful in those things, Ryan, when there's some intentionality behind it. You have to be intentional, strategic, so that your actions are purposeful. A lot of times we don't do because we're not intentional about those things. We may think about them in passing, like I've done with this whole writing thing, this whole motivational or inspirational thing that I have rolling around in my mind. I've thought about it, but there's not been a true intentionality behind doing something with it until, as I was approaching the end of the year, and I didn't want to go into 24 with the same hesitation that I left 23 with.
Yep.
So
Be brave.
You have to be intentional. Yes. Be brave, be courageous.
Absolutely. I think I'm going to go into 2024 with just kind of the intention of fixing that mindset that y'all were definitely hinting at of, if so many people are doing what I do, why does it matter if I do my best? And that mindset has held me back for a really long time. So I think, believing that I could be the best, or I could be one of the best, or I could excel at this no matter what other people are doing, just to stop comparing myself. I think that mindset is important. And then
Yes, the comparison gap. Do not do that.
Yes.
Yes.
And then I also want to try and take my health seriously. So I've been doing a lot of strategic planning, making sure I have the meals that I need, making sure I have a workout plan instead of just, being like, I'm going to do it and then don't. So having that plan has been helpful because I want to get in shape for my wedding. So I'm going to be so obnoxious about my wedding. And
we're going to hear about the wedding 5 times in this episode.
Do we need to make that a segment?
Yeah, maybe. How's Cameron's wedding planning going?
That is so funny. We can just, put that under news.
Yeah.
All right. So I just want to go ahead and I'm going to jump ahead on our outline.
Nobody else knows except us.
Nobody knows except us. We're going to do our feature early because we've spent so much time talking about New Year's and Christmas. This morning in the studio, we are going to have Dr. Alvina Thomas, and she's going to share with us. And we have a lot of new people. Who have joined the ranks here at LDCC, and some of you may not be aware that we have a Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service, MLK Day of Service, and it happens on the day that we commemorate as his birthday, which is a week from today, actually. Is it a week? Yeah, I think it's a week from today.
I think so.
Yeah, and so we do, a project every year for that event, and after we cover, in case you missed it, and after we cover that segment, Dr. Alvina Thomas will be joining us right here at the table to talk about that project. So let's go ahead and get into In Case You Missed It.
I am wondering if your audio is muted or if that's something on my side.
I don't know, but we will figure it out next time. First of all, we have convocation. So I don't think anyone missed convocation.
No.
Well, Miss Liz did. She was out sick. She was struggling with the flu, too. So I know I didn't see her. I don't know who else I didn't see. But it was great. I had a good time.
Oh, yeah, great turnout. And, of course, it's a requirement. So I think everybody's going to be there.
Exactly.
Look at these great pictures, though. Oh, my gosh. I mean, fantastic shots. Cameron, I presume that was all you.
I love taking pictures at convocation because it's when everybody gets together. And so you capture those moments of people who usually aren't, together all in one place. And then we had a bunch of different presentations.
Oh, yeah.
That we did. I know I did the presentations for like teams, just advanced teams and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what we kind of had a little bit of trouble because teams updated the first day of January. So we were having difficulties, but I feel like we kind of pushed some, information. Hopefully everyone got a little something from it that'll make their team's experience a lot easier.
Right.
And Ryan, I heard nothing but great things about your presentation. Who did you do it with? Joe Lane?
Oh, of course. I mean, it was Joe Lane was the star. He was the one that really organized the whole thing. He put it all together, and then it was a fun time to get up there, and our session was called Motivationology. So it was a study of what motivates us, and kind of everybody should have recognized if you were in that session that it's different for everybody, and so that was great. And then of course I got a chance to do a little something special, but we won't talk about that on the show. If we do something like that again, it'll just be a surprise to those that did not. Yay. But we had a fun time with it. It was great. It was absolutely great.
Awesome. I hope to see it because I didn't get to see it last time. So, but and then there was a lot more other presentations, and we also had our fun kind of Kahoot style games that we did. So I think everybody had a really good time. And then next we did have AT&T come and give a contribution to LDCC of $5,000, which is
all right.
That's
really
awesome.
So we have our pictures up. You can see there's just a lot of people who turned out to celebrate with the big check and the picture that oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of they came and cut our ribbon.
Oh, ribbon.
Oh, the chamber.
The Chamber of Commerce. I mine completely left it. But anyway, the Chamber of Commerce came out, and we all just had a good time celebrating that contribution. So,
we I don't think we added a picture of it, but also Entergy donated to the foundation back in December as well. And so we do want to give a shout out to Entergy for doing that. And my mind is drawing a blank too. And actually that money that they gave was for a scholarship for one of the workforce programs.
It was for one student received it. I think we talked about that on our last show.
Did we?
Yes, so I think we covered it, which is good. But those are our two. One more in case you missed it. We have our Bayou Life feature.
Yeah, for December, Rhonda Lindsay and our testing center were the highlights for December. And then January, we highlighted the LDCC Foundation and where we talked about hats and horses. And we will have Frank Bennett on sometime very soon to give us more details about what's happening what's happening for that. Also, for those of you who don't know, we have a spread in Bayou Life every month. And so every month we're highlighting either our faculty, our staff, a department, our students, or our business partners. So if you have, if you've been missing that, you know, pick up the next issue of Bayou Life and check out what we have coming up. If you have a story that you feel is newsworthy, that would make a great cover, make a great story, holler at us and let us know. pr@ladelta.edu.
Absolutely.
And we'll investigate it to see. All right, so this morning we've got Dr. Alvina Thomas, and she's here to talk with us about MLK Day of Service. Now, for those of you who don't know Dr. Thomas, she is our Dean of Student Success Service and our Title IX Coordinator and our Student Government Association Advisor. Nice to have you.
Good morning. This is
Welcome.
awesome to be here this morning, Monday morning.
That's right.
Monday
Bright and early.
morning.
Yeah.
I told Dr. Thomas, I said, you know, we'd love to have you come on as a feature, but you can also come on as a guest host as well and kind of be in the studio at 7:45. She's like, yeah, no, I'm good.
I went,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, but she's here for the rest of the segment, though. We're not going to let her get out just
Hey.
on the feature.
Who knows? I think she might stay for the entire show,
Oh,
but we won't
yes.
hold you to it, though.
Yes.
We appreciate you being here, Dr.
Once she
Thomas.
sees how easy this is, she'll want to come back and do a whole show. So tell us about MLK Day. Let's go back a little bit as far as into the history of LDCC's participation in MLK Day of Service.
yes, this is an awesome opportunity to partner with our community and to do a community service for our community, and which our community is our college as well. So I know at least for 12 or so years we partnered with the University of Louisiana at Monroe, and we had numerous community service activities. And so recently, about 2 years ago, we established the LDCC Promise Pantry. We realized that our students here, right here at Louisiana Delta Community College, they come to us and they sometimes come hungry. And research has shown us that if a student is hungry, they cannot excel. They cannot be as successful as they want to be class-wise and grade-wise. So we established the Promise Pantry, and last year was our first annual Promise Pantry food drive, and this is our second annual Promise Pantry food drive, and we're very excited about it. I mean, I cannot tell you last year the people from the community that heard about our food drive and came to support us. It was awesome. The Northeast Louisiana Food Bank came out, and Brookshire's presented us with a $1,000 check. And, you know, it's just amazing what the community will do for you if they know there's a need.
That $1,000 will go a long way to purchasing food from the food bank. So thank you, Brookshire's, for your generous partnership in that. Now, there's a lot to unpack in what you just said. Let's start with food insecurity. You know, a lot of times we don't think about that. When students come in the classroom, you know, we expect them to come ready to learn,
Right,
you know.
right.
And Ryan, from an instructor perspective, how do you often hear about students who may not have what they need as far as food or even shelter?
Yeah, actually, it depends. I have had the privilege of teaching someone many years ago who I didn't know it at the time, but then kind of towards the end of the semester, it was revealed that they were homeless. And
Wow.
as well, were struggling to get food. But it's interesting because not every student wants you to know that.
Exactly.
Some
That's
of them,
exactly
you know, they
right.
will mask it or they will hide it or they will do whatever they can because they are in need, but they may not want the attention or they may not want the handout. Maybe there's a pride piece to that, or just a shame piece to that. You know, so I think it's important with the efforts of the institution and Dr. Thomas are trying to sort of say, it's okay, let us know if there's a need, and we'll try to bridge the gap, because more and more institutions of higher education are responsible to do just that.
Yeah. You know, and I just read an article this morning. I didn't read it in its entirety, so forgive me because I can't give all of the details, but the headline or the subtitle, loosely translated, read that recipients of SNAP and I don't know all the other categories of aid that are available, but those funds are being reduced in Louisiana because of the increase to Social Security and to veterans. All of those are worthy causes, but I think it is necessary to take note that even those who are receiving assistance, their assistance will be reduced, and so there could be a greater need for services of the food pantry.
Absolutely, absolutely. In 2022 Act 719 of the regular legislative session established a hunger-free designation, and Louisiana Delta Community College is considered, has that designation.
I did not know that.
Yes. And so what does that mean? By earning that designation, the campus can apply for certain types of grants to assist us as well with putting food into the food pantry.
Okay.
So how are students able to access food?
Well, we have what we call a food pantry Thursday, where we take requests from students. They may come to us and say, hey, I need these items and so forth, and we go to the pantry and help them get those items. They can come to us before Thursday, but we thought we would at least establish a regular time, for them to pick up these items from us. And believe it or not, you just would not think so, but we have so many students who take advantage of coming and getting those items. So that's why it's very important for us to continue, I think, our annual Promise Pantry food drive here at Delta.
Yeah, sort of an annual restocking of the shelves, and really, we probably need to do it more than once a year. I know we, have opportunity to secure food from some other places. Speaking of which, I mean, if anyone wanted to donate, they wouldn't have to wait until a designated donation time. Can we just bring donations?
Yes, they can contact me. What we've really seen, Miss Liz is so great. People will come to Miss Liz and say, I have items to donate, or they might call me and we take items at any time.
Okay, that's great. That's good to know. Now, we've talked about students, and we've talked about how students may have some hesitation in communicating need. We also have employees who may have need and may be equally hesitant about expressing that need.
Absolutely. So we have established a hunger-free task force. But before that task force, we had our own committee, and one of the instructors said to us, what you're saying, there are people here, faculty and staff, who needs food, who needs necessities. And so when we decided on the mission of the food pantry, we also said in our mission that it's nourishment for students and the college community. So that means that not just students, but if we have faculty and staff and they need help, we're here to help them as well. And sometimes students, as well as faculty and staff, they may feel ashamed. They may feel like, well, I don't want to say anything because I just feel ashamed. So we often also will put bags together and sit them in a specific place, and anyone can pick those bags up. No one is watching.
So it remains anonymous.
Yes, yes. So we have several ways to distribute the food items.
And so if an employee was in need, I can imagine that, especially, us as women, I know the first thing I probably think about, Lord, I don't want everybody to be knowing that,
Yes.
I called down or I sent an email saying that, I needed this, and then everybody looking at me like, I'm the next Salvation Army case, and because that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. And so I know personally, I would feel more comfortable if I knew that my identity would remain confidential, and that everybody wouldn't know about it.
Yes, yes. And some students feel the same way. Atmos Energy, like I was saying, the community has just been wonderful, donated book bags to us. And we put food in those book bags. We still have a few of those left. And so instead of a brown paper bag, you have this book bag. And items will be in the book bag, and you can take it, put it on your shoulder, and go. And no one would really know.
Very discreet.
Yes.
Okay, and so this event that we have coming up, where we can, as a collective effort, help to restock the pantry, is...
Well, it's the actual MLK Day of Service Day, the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service, which is January 15th. Our event is from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. On this campus, it will be held at the Advanced Technology Center in the Community Auditorium. On the West Monroe campus, it will be held in their cafeteria.
Okay.
And we encourage all of our campuses to participate on that day. They don't have to, but West Monroe is opening up their food pantry, and they wanted to go ahead and start by having join in with the MLK Day of Service. And so we're excited about that.
We're excited too. That's news. Y'all heard it here first.
Wow.
All right. So
Yeah,
West Monroe is opening up their own pantry. That is awesome.
Yeah, I'm thinking, wow, imagine the day that all the campuses participate. Think about the number of people that we can help, the square, the mileage, the square footage, whatever. I'm saying that wrong. Our service area.
Our service area.
Especially
that
in
we're
those more
serving.
rural
Yeah, I
areas.
mean,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
unbelievable. So, wow, it's such a great thing, a testament to your leadership that it's spreading across, and not just at the Monroe campus, but on multiple campuses.
Yes.
That's excellent.
We're very excited. And we've had several, we call them the Divine Nine, but several fraternities and sororities who supported us last year, who contacted me. This is very exciting to me, and said, we're going to work with you all again.
That's awesome.
And so we've had a few to also add, and so to the group that said, we want to help you. Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority.
Wow.
Yes, and think we have Phi Beta Sigma, and I had it written down.
I know historically,
It's several of them. Yeah,
I was about to say,
more.
historically, they've been very huge supporters of our MLK Day of Service projects.
Yes.
And so it's great to hear that they're still on board and have undertaken this specific project.
Yes, yes. One in particular, Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity, as well as The purple and gold, you know what I'm talking about.
I know you don't want to. I know you don't want
those
to.
guys.
And
Omega Sci-Fi.
Omega Sci-Fi. Ooh, they are going to be so upset with me. Let me just
You
give
get a pass
little-
this early, okay?
And a
Thank
lot
you.
of Greek
Please give me a
letters.
pass.
And this is your first podcast.
Yes, I'm a little
Right.
bit upset. But I want to talk about the history with them. Ever since we've had a MLK Day of Service, even with partnering with ULM, they have been here for us. They support us heavily. They come with food and check.
Yeah. Wow.
They come with food and
Wow.
check. Yes. And so each year they're almost the first one to say, okay, what do you want us to do? And we will be there to help you.
That's awesome.
And look at you representing with the colors on right now.
I know
See?
you're wearing their colors
can't-
today.
nobody can be too
Yeah,
upset.
get me out of that, Mr. Pierce. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This
And
is great.
Cameron, you have a list. You have a screenshot of the items that are needed.
And it might be a little small for those maybe watching on a phone, but we have protein, things like cans of tuna, cans of chicken, canned vegetables, beans, carrots, peas, fruits, canned fruits, fruit cups, dried fruits, starches, things like rice, pasta, mac and cheese, and boxes of cereal, on-the-go snacks that are kind of pre-portioned out are great. And then drinks and beverages, water, soft drinks, and fruit juice that are individually packaged are really awesome. And then basic hygiene products are also needed. So soap, toilet paper, shampoo, toothpaste, toothbrushes, lotion, deodorant, feminine hygiene products, anything hygiene-wise you can think of are needed. So
And those are so often forgotten. You know, whenever we think about
The
a food
hygiene
drive in the pantry,
products.
Right.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
everybody, is needing those. So that's excellent. I'm glad that made the list.
absolutely.
Yes.
And so these things this list will go out today, probably, hopefully before noon, in our week at a glance, which I have to finish. But yeah, that'll be included in the week at a glance, and so you all will have the exhaustive list. If there's a question about anything on the list or something that you have that you may want to donate that is not on the list and you just want to make sure that it's good, you can reach out to Dr. Thomas at her office. It's 345-9145.
Yes. We will be most happy to take your questions, take your items. Our Student Government Association, I want to do a shout out to them as well. They've been very proactive with helping.
They are amazing.
They are amazing.
Yes, we have had some very good officers over the last few years,
Yes.
and this group is shining very brightly. They are stars.
Absolutely.
And so the deadline to get those items in.
Well, again, all
Yes.
this week, if you want to bring your items, we have bins stationed in the lobby of area, and you can bring and drop in those bins. And
In the main building.
in the main building, in the Louisiana Purchase Building. And then if you miss this week with bringing your items, just come Monday at 10 o'clock, from 10 to 1. And we'll take your items during that time and give you a T-shirt.
Campus is closed on Monday in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And so, you won't be at work that day, but you are welcome to come and to bring your items. And then if you want to help volunteer and sort and package,
Yes.
and you're welcome to do that as well.
Yes, that would help us tremendously. And we're looking forward to honoring Dr. Martin Luther King with this particular program. It's a day on. You hear that. It's a day on, not a day off.
Right.
But for us, it really is a day on, because this is something we're doing to provide our students and our faculty and staff, the LDCC community, with the nourishment and needs that they must have in order to be successful.
And we appreciate that, and we appreciate that vision for these services, Dr. Thomas. And now we're going to invite you to stay on for the rest of the broadcast if you like.
Okay. This
All
is
right.
fun. I've not done this before, so let's just see what
I
happens.
told you. You'll want to come back and stay the whole time. Our next segment is Let Me Tell You. This is a segment where we tell you something. And today, the person telling is Cameron. Cameron, what do you have for us?
I have some different New Year's resolution facts and statistics that I just thought were interesting that I found. These first ones are from Forbes Health. So 62% in this study say they feel pressured to set a New Year's resolution. Women.
Wow.
Now, I want to stop right there.
Okay,
Wow.
okay.
Pressure, because, what did we lead with today? We led with, what's your New Year's resolution? So
That's
everybody wants to
true.
ask that question.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pressure. Okay, go ahead.
I can see the pressure now. I can see where that comes from. Funny enough, women reported that they feel more pressured. It was slightly more than the men to set a resolution, which makes sense because women and men, they equally, set to improve their mental health, but women are more likely to focus on fitness, which is
Yes.
really interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, and I will say most of my, female friends are more interested in the fitness, eating healthy, things like that. And then also, just kind of overall, 48% of people say improving fitness is a top priority in 2024. And 36% cite improved mental health as a top resolution, which is
Yeah.
good.
It's so much that we could unpack in there that we don't have time to
Exactly.
on this podcast. But really and truly, there is so much there. Physical fitness, how we look.
Yes, and it's almost ironic how, people focusing on the fitness are not focused on it for the right reasons, which affects and damages your mental health.
Exactly. And look, and we can roll social media in there. I mean,
Yes.
it's like a whole thing, honey. It's like a whole thing.
And
yeah.
the fact that, women are more focused on it too, it makes sense.
And the fact that we're most critical of other women in
Yes.
those areas too, which kind of is a whole 360. But yeah, go
We
ahead.
could do a whole
I'm gonna
special
let
episode
you
on
go ahead.
And then I found just some different New Year's resolutions just around the world that I thought were interesting. So in Japan, Buddhist temples ring bells 108 times on New Year's Eve. This is because in Buddhism, it is believed that there are 108 types of earthly desires, and each strike of the bell will remove one desire. So I can't pronounce what it's called in Japanese, but I thought that was really interesting.
That is interesting.
It's so different from what we do, which is pop fireworks and drink champagne. So
Yeah.
theirs is, very, like that religious and personal aspect that kind of ritualistic kind of thing that I think is really interesting. And also in Greece, they kind of do more of a religious tradition too. They usually go to church on New Year's Day, and this is according to New York Times.
Okay.
But after the service, they will find an onion to hang on their doors as a symbol of good health, fertility, and longevity.
Wow.
So I don't know if onions represent that. I mean, I've never thought of an onion in those terms.
We
But
talked about trying things in the new year, and I know we were relating that to our skills and abilities and talents and whatnot. But, maybe at the end of 2024, put the onion up, see what happens.
yeah, see what happens. I'll also eat my cabbage. I'll also be eating my black-eyed peas.
That's right.
too,
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
For wealth and I don't know.
Good luck.
Yes,
Good
good luck. Exactly. And also, this is something, I don't know if y'all have ever seen Modern Family, but Gloria on Modern Family does this. Spaniards celebrate the new year by popping 12 grapes in their mouth.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
for each chime of the clock marking midnight, which is supposed to bring good luck. And Gloria, I remember, had a wish for each grape that she would eat on Modern Family. So
Wow. That's pretty
Yeah.
neat.
I know, grapes. It's so specific. And then finally, in the Philippines, celebrations feature round items. They believe that roundness symbolizes prosperity, and households will pick 12 round fruits for each month of the year. I like the 12, like counting the 12 months.
Okay.
And then people also fill their pockets with coins or leave them on tables to attract wealth.
Wow. You
Those
really,
are interesting.
you dug really deep into the internet.
That's
Yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah, I was having fun reading all the traditions and stuff. It's so interesting how people around the world. I think, was it Thanksgiving we kind of did the same thing, or
We were talking about Christmas.
Yeah,
I
we were
think.
talking
the
about how
holidays,
people
okay.
celebrate, the holiday. That is really interesting. And, you can get tunnel vision thinking that our way is just the way, that this is the way that things are done. But really, it's so vastly different from what people around the world
absolutely.
are doing. Wow. All right, that takes us into the Monday morning motivation. Today I've dubbed Monday as the Max Good Monday. The Max Good Monday.
Okay.
It's the beginning of the week, and it's also the beginning of a whole fresh new year, which makes this a wonderful opportunity not to jump off into any New Year's resolutions, but to change our mindset about something, or to nurture this mindset if you already have it. I want us to think about, what if everyone we encountered today left our presence, walked off from us feeling valued? What if everyone we encountered today left us feeling valued? That would be amazing. Not a New Year's resolution, but just a change of your mindset. We can get in such a hurry and be very task-oriented and focused on doing the thing that sometimes we forget about the thing. We overlook people. We overlook the essence of people, and we focus on doing the thing. And we want to do the thing so that people can't say that we're not doing the thing. So, you're protecting yourself, but you're walking over people in order to do it. And it's become so normalized that we don't stop and think that we're doing it. Not unless there's some major thing that makes time stop for us to pay attention. Like someone confronting you and say, hey, I didn't intend to offend you. And then you're thinking, well, I'm not offended, but the way that you just responded to that person makes them feel that they offended you, because we didn't stop to take care of people while we were engaging them. And so today, Max Good Monday, I want us to think about every encounter that we have. And I talked about being intentional earlier. I want us to be intentional about, as we're communicating with someone, what is our body language saying? What are our words saying? What message are we communicating? We can tie this into legacy. We fast forward, you think about, and nobody likes to think about this, when we die, what will people say about us? What will be the legacy that we leave? We all have opportunities to touch people's lives, but how we touch their lives is most important. We want to touch people's lives and leave positive, lasting positive emotions, memories, marks. And the only way that we do that is that we're intentional about doing that. So as we're going out throughout our day, pay attention to your body language and your words and your attitude and your tone, because you can say something and then you can say something, and that makes a difference. It makes a difference. When we do that, we make immediate shifts in our culture and in our environment, in our homes, because your first obligation are to those you have at home. In your home, in your workplace, in the community, you will immediately see shifts. And I know that we have this mindset, and I see it all across social media. I'm going to treat you the way that you treat me. I don't have time for people who don't have time for me. Y'all, that creates a very ill atmosphere, because I want you to remember this one thing. Somebody treated you nice when you weren't deserving of being treated nice. And they did it more than once. It may not have been the same person, but you've not been nice your whole life. And so to write people off and to put distance between you and someone else because they didn't treat you in a way that you felt you should have been treated, so that gives you the right to not treat that person right. That's not right. And that's not how we cultivate community. And specifically here at Louisiana Delta Community College, in order for us to be that, to live that, and not just to be that in name, it requires that we all exhibit behaviors that will produce that. Looking out for those who look out for me is divisive, and it doesn't unify. But choosing, being intentional about maxing out on being good, treating others good, will unify us, even with the outliers who just won't give that back. And you can't worry about how other people reciprocate what they give back to you, whether they give it back. That's not your issue. That's not your problem. That's not your burden. Because we can only control ourselves and what we give. So if we're consumed with giving good, it won't matter what other people do. In order to see a difference, and we all have our complaints about different things across life, in order to see a difference, we have to commit to being the difference. So, Max Good Monday. And it doesn't have to pertain to Monday. This should be a mindset. Cameron, you talked about, some things that you wanted to do. I've read and heard, several times that it takes 21 days of consistently doing something for it to become a habit. Mm-hmm. I wish we all would commit to the 21 days of maxing good, not just Monday, but every day, so that it becomes a habit, because I promise you, you will see a difference at home, at work, at church, in any of your social circles. No matter where you are, you will bring light, and you will bring the difference. So that's my Monday morning motivation.
Is that a new hashtag, Max Good Monday? And is that going up on your social platform?
It's on my social platform today.
So basically today is the day that we birthed your new motivational.
I did the next thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I did the next thing. Hashtag be the difference. I did the next thing.
Okay. I think we've come full circle on this episode now.
Absolutely.
We did.
Where can we tune in, or how can we find you on social media? That's going to be the next question. You got to build that.
And next week I'll have an answer. I'll do the next thing. Yeah, but I'm just on my regular social platforms right now. But next week I'll Scarlett O'Hara. I'll think about that tomorrow.
Yeah, we need that business name or whatever it is that's coming up, and what the book name's going to be and all that stuff. We need all that.
Yeah, and I do have that, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, to speak to something that you said earlier about valuing others, I'm a student of John Maxwell, as I'm sure many people are. You've heard his name before. And so one of his quotes is it's one thing to communicate to people because you believe you have something of value to say. It's another thing to communicate with people because you believe they have value. And so again, that ties into what you were saying. As you started talking about value, it immediately made me think of him and that particular quote. And so thank you for, again, bringing
I
home.
am a student of John Maxwell.
Look at you.
I love that too, because I'm reading 25 Ways to Win with People right now by him.
Oh.
And it is just perfect. It's amazing how things kind of line up and things, tend to repeat in your life and keep showing up. So
Absolutely.
All right, so this is episode 5 of the Morning Blend. We will see you guys in 7 days for episode 6.